Welcome everyone. Thanks for liking my videos and subscribing to my channel. Today's a walk and talk live stream. In Cebu City, Philippines. It's a warm, sunny day here. And I wanted to talk about some of the videos that I did earlier in the week. If you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Tim. I do villages related content. There's a lot of people. There's actually a festival going on in the city today. The festival is known as Señor Santo Niño, and it honors and celebrates the gifting of a baby Jesus statue from Ferdinand Magellan to the Philippines in the year 1521. And there was a lot of parades going on this week. There's a festival going on. So back to the content at hand. Thanks for liking, thanks for subscribing, thanks for joining. If you're on the live stream, leave a comment below and let me know if you can hear me and if you can see the picture. I would appreciate it. So the week in review, I did release several videos regarding the villages this week. And I released a video with the new cottage villas in Well Point. And some of you have been asking, am I back in the villages? The answer is no, I'm still in the Philippines. And I released that video because I found some content on my phone that I took right before I left for the Philippines in January. And I'll also be releasing a video today regarding the new Street of Dreams. For those that don't know, the Street of Dreams has recently moved from, I believe, the village of Shady Brook to the village of Well Point. And I did a lot of videos about the 56 new model homes. Hi, how are you, Thanos? Let me know if you can hear me. And if you can see the picture, leave a comment below. My cell signal here in the Philippines is somewhat sketchy. Thank you for the thumbs up, I appreciate it. So the Street of Dreams are model homes that the villages builds, and they use them as a sales tool to show prospective buyers the quality, workmanship, and layouts of some of their homes. And they recently built 56 homes in the village of Well Point. They're located on a street named Rusa Run. And if you look back, I have many videos regarding them. And I found some content recently that I took right before I left for the Philippines, and I made a video out of it. And the news is that the Street of Dreams in Well Point recently opened for business, and they are selling the Street of Dreams homes that are located in Shady Brook. Right there is a brand new building. I believe that is going to be a museum building here in Cebu City in Lapu-Lapu. This is part of a large complex. This is actually a hotel. And those are condominium buildings. They are building more condominiums. There's actually an oversupply of condominium units here in the Philippines, especially in Manila. So if there's anybody interested in buying a condo, now might be the time to do it. There's an oversupply. Thanks for liking, thanks for subscribing. I do appreciate it. So I released a video of the new cottage villa homes in the villages, in the village of Well Point. And as I described in the video, the cottage villas are cottage homes that will have a backyard and side yard that are enclosed. People like that if they have pets. There's a lot of Korean tourists here. That's one thing I don't notice. Lots of Korean tourists. Here they have some tents set up to celebrate. They even have a band stage set up here. They have been playing band music and having parades since Thursday in honor of Senor Santos Nino. So for those of you new to the channel, I'm in Cebu City, Mactan Island. And Mactan and Cebu have been liberated in the year 1521 when a local Filipino named Lapu-Lapu defeated Ferdinand Magellan and the Spanish aggression in the year 1521. I did a condo video of that condominium unit right over there. That is called The Reef. It's right on the ocean. It has ocean view rooms.
Hello, friend.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon. How are you? Yes, I'm live. Say hello to America.
Hello, America.
You're going to be superstars pretty soon. Streams of Dreams is the channel. So back to the videos. I mentioned there will be a new Street of Dreams video coming out today. I did the cottage homes. And the previous video to that was who pays for the roads in the villages. I did a video yesterday, and I'm getting my ideas from the villages-news.com. They seem to be a good source for what's going on in the villages. Thanks for liking and thank you for subscribing. And who pays for the roads in the villages? The premise of that video the premise of that video is there seems to be somewhat of a different agreement between the villages and the city of Wildwood versus the villages in the county of Sumter. When I was walking and talking and doing videos in the southern part of the villages in the Eastport area, most of those homes are in the city of Wildwood. And I noticed a lot of those villages they're building in that area have the look and feel of a courtyard villa or a patio villa neighborhood. They have the storm sewers in the middle of the streets. They don't have curb and gutter on the sides of the street. And I was wondering if they have the same relationship with the city of Wildwood as they would have with Sumter County. The residents of the district would end up paying for the road maintenance. But it appears, based on my research, and you can refer back to that video, it appears based on my research that the city of Wildwood is going to be maintaining those roads in the southern part of the villages. Hi, Filipina Morena. How are you? Guess where I am? I live in Florida, United States of America, but I'm in Cebu. I'm actually in Lapu-Lapu. As we speak, it's beautiful here. I'm doing great. I'm doing awesome. See? I'm holding two phones. I have two phones. I'm doing a live on one phone, and I'm reading from my other phone. And to be honest with you, it's kind of daunting. Oh, thanks for subscribing. I appreciate it. So you don't have to guess where I'm at. I will show you the sign. This is where I'm at. Yeah, I'm in the Philippines right now. It's warm, it's sunny. Can't you tell? All the motorbikes. I'm doing a walk and talk. I flew in January, around the middle of January. I'm here for 2 months. I'm doing videos. And if I was tall enough, I would show you the Mactan channel. Check out some of the videos I've been doing. It's awesome here. It's warm, it's sunny. It feels like Florida in the summertime. That's how it is now. When I left Florida, it was cold. Can you see the Mactan channel through the gate? I recently went scuba diving over in Lapu-Lapu in Mactan Island. What's my real name? What's my real name? My real name is Tim, T-I-M. I was gonna tell you my real name is Streams of Dreams, but I would be lying. No, my name is Tim. I'm from Florida, United States of America. I grew up in Wisconsin, which is in the northern part, it's near Canada. I grew up with snow and cold, and 3 years ago I moved to Florida because I can't handle the cold temperatures anymore. Yes, Tim is correct. Tim. That's me. I'm the famous TikToker, Tim. Go to TikTok. I have lots and lots of subscribers there. My account name there is Tim. Imagine that. That is my real name, yes. I actually have 2 accounts in TikTok, both named Tim. One account I do, basically I respond to comments. That's all I do in one account. I have a lot of subscribers on that account. And the other account I primarily do gym videos. I've been hitting the gym hard since I've been in the Philippines. I gained 5 pounds. All I do here is eat and go to the gym. Oh, you do? You're probably a follower of mine and you don't even know it. My name is Tim. My TikTok account is Tim. I hashtag all of my videos in TikTok with Florida life with a palm tree. Just look for Florida life with a palm tree. That's me. You probably are a follower of mine in TikTok. You don't even know it. I started this YouTube thing really about 6 months ago. I monetized in 7 weeks. How you doing? Say hello to everybody.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Can you tell? Bye. Can you tell? I'm in the Philippines. Have a good day. Take care. Be safe. I can't even see my screen. Oh, I have 4 people. So anyway, back to the topic at hand. Uh-oh. Yikes. Uh-oh. My phone just went kaflooey. So I was talking about the villages. I was talking about the road maintenance in the south. People are sitting in the shade today. It's a warm one. Say hello, everyone.
Hello.
Say, God bless America.
God bless America.
God bless the Philippines.
God bless the Philippines.
You're all going to be stars on YouTube. Thank you. It's easy to get distracted in the Philippines. Everybody's friendly. People tend to freak out when I bring my camera out in Florida. In the Philippines, most of them want to be on camera. Quite a difference in culture. So what are we talking about? We're talking about the villages. Who pays for the roads? So I was worried that if you lived in the south in the Eastport area that your your maintenance fees would be really high because a lot of those villages are being built with roads with the sewers in the middle of the road, and typically, historically, the districts. Say hello to America. Say God bless the Philippines. Hello, America. What? What'd you say? You're on live stream. You'll be recorded forever. That's the younger people here. They love the social media. They do a good job directing traffic here as well. So a lot of the villages they're building in the south would typically have been maintained by the districts and the residents, but it appears as in the city of Wildwood is going to maintain that, which should put downward pressure on your maintenance assessment fees charged annually. That was the point of that video. What's the next video? Oh, the amenity cap update. I did a video on the amenity cap. There was meetings recently held by the districts and the villages. And to be honest with you, I don't think they're going to ever cap the amenities. It seems to be a big buzzword. I think the village board of directors and those running for the governmental offices for the respective districts, they bring up the amenity cap fee. I think it's more of a political stunt than anything else. And if you look at it, the amenity fee of $199 a month is still reasonable compared to other 55 plus communities in Florida. The cost of the villages is still really reasonable.
Hello.
Hi, good afternoon. And I think the amenity fee cap is more of a political stunt, so for those running for governmental offices can tell their constituents that they're fighting for an amenity cap, when in fact I think the probability is very low that that'll ever happen. Looks like they're setting up for dinner here. Sips of Love is a Valentine's special with the Sips of Love. Those are pesos. Mojito is 400 peso. That's probably $7.50 American. Street Eats Beer and Beets, 588 pesos. That's probably like $10 or $11 American. Good afternoon, sir. How are you? So the amenity cap rates, they call them a deferral rate. I know the AAC, that is the governing board that governs the amenities north of County Road 466. They recently held a meeting, and talked about capping the amenity fees. One of the village's attorneys said that they can only cap the fee if the PWAC board, which is the board of directors, board of supervisors that govern the amenities south of 466, they can only cap it if the PWAC caps it. My only argument there is why do they have two different boards and two different entities and two different government funds? If they can't control their own fund and make their own decisions, why don't they combine them, make one board, one fund? It just seems odd to me. In terms of capping the amenities, I talked in that video about how when they sold the amenity assets in districts 12 and 13. Recently, I did a video on that, where the villages sold the assets to the district. The developer sells the assets to the district. How when they calculated the value, when they valued those assets, they had to value the income stream that those assets bring in, and the income stream is the amenity fees. So they value the assets, they look at the amenity fee income stream, and they make assumptions. And one of the assumptions they make is that the amenity fees are going to increase 2.5% each year. So they're not going to sell $278 million assets and not raise amenity fees at least 2.5%. So that was the basis of that video. I don't think those amenity fees will ever be capped, or there'll ever be a deferral rate. I think you're going to see, on average, amenity fees going up 2.5% each year. And one of the things that the Villages does well is, even though the inflation rate is a lot higher than 2.5%, they tend to try to level off those amenity fee rate hikes. And they try to leave them at somewhere in the 2 to 3% increase each year, even though I think legally, based on the inflation rates, they could raise them more than that. But the Villages, I've noticed in other areas, amenity fees and maintenance assessment fees, they try not to impose large rate hikes in 1 year. They try to level them out over several years. And I've seen that in other residential districts in terms of maintenance assessment fees. Where there could be an extraordinary expenditure in a specific district, and they run the numbers, and in order to compensate for the increased expenses, they would need to raise the maintenance assessment fees 10, 20, 30%. But the boards decide not to do that. They raise it a small amount each year over the next several years rather than one lump sum. And a lot of these district board members will dip into their general fund or reserve funds to cover the differences for their budget. So that's something that you should pay attention to. That's why I'm stressing to all the residents in the Villages to be active in your district government, know your budgets, know your financial statements. Attend the budget meetings that start usually in March and go through September of every year for your respective residential district, because there are a lot of decisions being made by the board members in terms of whether or not to increase your maintenance assessment fees. And that's really the only thing that those board members in the residential districts have control over, is they control what the maintenance assessment fees are going to be for that district. And it's pretty simple. It just boils down to whether, when they get presented a budget, that board has to decide whether to increase the maintenance assessment fees to cover those expenses for the year, or if they want to dip into the general reserve fund to compensate and not increase maintenance assessment fees. And I know there are some district boards that are currently running an unbalanced budget where the revenue streams are lower than their annual expenses, and they have chosen to utilize general fund to cover the difference because they feel their general fund balance is too high, so they want to draw it down. And one day in those districts, they are going to need to raise the maintenance assessment fees. And one of the districts that is currently doing that is district number 5. They are running an unbalanced budget in terms of the revenue streams are lower than their annual expenses, and they are making up the difference each year by dipping into the fund balance. And if there's any District 5 board members listening, I think that's a bad idea. I know that you're trying to get reelected and you want to leave the maintenance assessment fees low. In fact, a couple of years ago, you lowered the maintenance assessment fees and now you're running deficits. What are you doing that for? One day you're going to need to raise maintenance assessment fees by a larger amount to make up the difference. And then you're going to have people like me yelling and screaming at you. And that's why I encourage all the village residents to be active in their district government and the decisions they make. Because some of these goofballs that are running their districts are making decisions to get reelected rather than making decisions for the long-term financial future of the district. That's just my opinion. Good afternoon. Thanks for liking, thanks for subscribing. Feel free to forward this live stream to anyone you feel might be interested. All right, let's talk about another video that I did. Does the villages have an energy crisis? I recently released that video. And to be honest with you, I don't have a strong understanding about the energy crisis in the villages. There was not a lot of detail around it. I'll summarize it like this, based on my understanding. Excuse me. Apparently Seco Energy, that's the largest energy or power supplier. They supply most of the power to the villages. Apparently they went to the villages recently and said, your rates are going to increase by a lot because the pole rentals are going up. And then those are the electricity poles that you see on the sides of the street. Those rentals are going up. Apparently those electricity poles are owned by a company called Seminole Energy, which Seco Energy, Seco Energy is part owner of, by the way. And for those new to the energy industry is highly integrated. All these energy companies work closely with each other. These energy companies work closely with the transmission companies. Typically, the transmission companies are companies that own the light, the power poles, as well as the wires. And a lot of the generation energy companies will be part owners of the transmission companies. And from what I understand, Seco is part owner of Seminole Energy, and Seminole Energy, I believe, is the one that owns the electricity poles in the villages. And Seco Energy, the chairman came to the villages and said they don't want to be in the light pole business. Well, from what I see it, they're not in the light pole business. their subsidiary company or the company that they're part owner of, they're in the light pole business. And in the energy industry, it's very common that assets are sold between energy companies. And if one energy company doesn't want to be in the light pole business, they will sell those assets to a different energy company or to a different transmission company. And I read an article in the villages-news.com recently where some of the district board members are considering buying the electricity poles from Seco Energy. And I'm thinking to myself, what are you doing? What are you thinking? Why do you want to get into the energy transmission business? It's expensive to maintain these poles. You don't have the expertise. There are thousands of energy transmission companies in America that would be willing to buy those poles. So I don't know what kind of a power play that Seco is playing on the villages and the board members of the villages, but somebody on those boards needs to wise up and stop the insanity, because one board member, I believe in district number 2, proposed to buy the power poles from Seco Energy. And I could not believe that I was reading that. That's a bad idea. There is a lot of synergy in the energy industry. Community development districts should not be in the energy industry. There are thousands of companies that are in the energy industry. Those assets could be easily sold to a transmission company that can better manage and more efficiently manage those power poles. So please do not consider buying power poles. Thanks for liking, thanks for subscribing. I do appreciate it. Here I am walking down the street here in Cebu City in the Philippines. I'm doing my live stream. There is music blasting. They are celebrating a festival. It is the festival of Senior Santo Nino. And I am trying to walk away from the music because it might be copyrighted. Thanks for liking, thanks for subscribing. I do appreciate it. Lots of music playing in the Philippines. That's another thing I noticed, friends. That's another thing I did notice. So what other videos did I do this week that we can talk about? Why staff the guard shacks? The Villages, Florida. Oh, that was another Villages-News article. Somebody wanted to staff the guard shack that's on the corner of Buena Vista Boulevard and the entry to the village of Polo Ridge. And that turned into a large fiasco because that guard shack does not have a bathroom. If they staffed the guard shack, they would have to add a bathroom. A few years ago, they added a bathroom to a guard shack. It cost $160,000. It would cost a lot more than that nowadays to staff or to put a bathroom in the guard shack at Polo Ridge. And then I raised the question, all the roads are public in the villages. All you have to do is push a red button to get in. Why have any of the guard shacks staffed? Why do we have any staffing at the guard shacks? For the most part, there's maybe one or two pain points or guard shacks in the villages that probably need staffing. One of them is just north of County Road 466 on Morse Boulevard. That's a 4-lane entrance to the northern part of the villages. That probably needs to be a staffed guard shack. But all these other guard shacks, why do they need to have them staffed at all? And I discussed recently that the Villages is going to save, I think, $1 million by not staffing the guard shacks between the hours of midnight and 6 a.m. And in order to meet their budget requirements for the new fiscal year that started in October, some of the guard shacks stay unmanned between midnight and 6 a.m. Wouldn't you think that would be the time you'd want them to be staffed, is during the night? That's when the crime happens, is at night. Why do you staff them during the day when there's no crime? None of this makes sense to me. Leave a comment below what you think. I do appreciate it. It's a busy Sunday evening here in the Philippines. Thanks for liking. Thanks for subscribing. This is actually a bus terminal. The city buses come here. And the bus system here in the Philippines is actually really good. And it's very inexpensive. I can take a bus all the way from here. I'm on Mactan Island all the way over to Cebu. It'll probably take me 1 hour. It cost me 40 pesos. That's probably 25 cents. And you can also get transported by a jeepney. Those are like 20 pesos to get a ride in a jeepney. And you can also get a ride in a trike. That's a 3-wheeled vehicle. That's kind of how the transportation system is. If you want to go really far, you take a city bus. If you want to go intermediate distances, you take a jeepney like that one. And if you want to go short distances, you take a trike. That's kind of how this whole transportation system here is set up. And the city buses come in 2 sizes. One is large and one is small. And that is a small city bus right there. It's air conditioned. That's a small city bus. They do have large city buses right there as well. They have traffic patrol attendants there. Here they got fresh food, yummy food. What is that? Yummy. Tempura?
Yes, tempura.
Okay. Is that like a banana?
No, it's made of fish, shark fish.
Oh, that's fish.
Shark fish and lard.
Shark? Like shark? They are deep frying shark right there, friends. I'm doing a YouTube live. Say hello. Hey, they are deep frying shark. From what I was told, there really are no sharks right here on Mactan Channel. So I'm not sure where they're fishing to get the sharks. But they do eat all types of fish here. I've seen all types of fish. Lots of fish eaters here in the Philippines. All right, what's the next video we want to talk about? Oh, the new CDD and new Community Development District is forming. District number 16 down in the village of Eastport is forming soon. And that is when the developer will sell the infrastructure to the community development district. That's essentially what happens when they form a new district. The developer says, okay, this district is developed. They have certain criteria as to when they sell the district. Those criteria have been met, and now the developer has gone to the community development district management team, and they said, we're going to sell these assets to you for District 16. You need to now go to the market and take a loan out and issue bonds to pay me for the assets in District 16. That's what's happening right now. And I would encourage those people in District 16 to pay attention to what the bond rates are going to be. They will go to the market. I was told they actually go to Wall Street. They issue bonds. Wall Street looks at the villages with a very favorable and reliable credit rating, so they can borrow money on Wall Street at really competitive interest rates. So the interest rates on the bonds that I've quoted you in other videos are really competitive rates. They're not paying higher rates because they have poor credit quality. They're probably paying the lowest rates because they have a very good credit quality. People in the villages tend to pay their bills on time, and Wall Street knows that. So when the district goes to Wall Street to take a loan out by issuing bonds, Wall Street will give them a favorable interest rate, and that will be what the bond interest rate will be that the residents pay. Keep in mind, the residents also pay an administration fee. I think that administration fee on the bonds is partly to pay for the bond issuance costs. It costs money to take bonds out on Wall Street. There's a lot of people involved. There's financial guys, there's brokers. They're all getting paid when they issue a bond, and I think that administration fee, when the residents pay the bond annually, that administration fee, I think, is the fees that the villages or the district pays to take the bonds out. Nothing is free on Wall Street. That is for sure. It is a beautiful day in the Philippines. Yes, I'm walking in circles. I'm trying to stay away from the copyrighted music. Temperature today is probably 88 degrees Fahrenheit. It's warm, it's sunny, it's humid. You even have dolphins in a fountain in the middle of the roundabout. Like I said before, feel free to share this video with anybody who you feel would be interested. I do appreciate it. There is a large city bus. There's actually 2 large city buses. Right there. Actually, it's a tourist bus. There's a lot of tourists, foreign tourists right there coming in. A lot of Australians here. We're in Southeast Asia. Australia is not that far away if you take a plane ride. A lot of Korean tourists here. Lots of Korean tourists. Fair amount of Japanese tourists here as well. You have a melting pot of tourists here in the Philippines. There's a small city bus right there, friends. Air conditioned, 40 pesos. If you want to take a ride to the mall, you hop on that bus, and about 10 or 15 minutes later, they drop you off at the mall. Costs you 25 or 30 cents US. You have taxis here as well. The taxis are fairly reasonable priced. I know they get a bad rap here in the Philippines that some of the taxi drivers take advantage of the foreigners and they charge them more than what they would charge a local. And I think that is true to a degree, but the rates are still reasonable from a Western point of view. Thanks for liking, thanks for subscribing. I do appreciate it. I think we have those types of flowers in Florida as well. Right there. Tropical climate, just like Florida. Look at the blue skies. Feels like Florida in the summertime here. Only with a lot more people. A lot more people. Say hello to America. Thanks for liking, thanks for subscribing. Let me know what content. I will be home at the end of March, and I'll bring you some Villages content. Some fresh Villages content there. But between now and then, I will continue to bring my walk and talks based on subjects that I find interesting. If you find any subjects you want me to talk about, let me know. I feel I know a lot about the Villages. I've done a lot of research. Probably I've done heavy research on the Villages since the year 2019. I lived in the Villages since the year 2022. And to be honest with you, I'm just not sure what content you want to hear, what you want to see. I'm not sure what you know, what you don't know. But I know one thing is that not a lot of people know about the district government. They don't know a lot about the bonds. They don't know a lot about the maintenance assessment fees. They don't know what those fees are, what they cover. I've already had people tell me that the maintenance fees are actually the administration fees for the bonds. That is not true. Maintenance assessment fees are entirely different than the bond fees. Totally separate, totally different. They pay for different things. The bonds pay for the infrastructure. The maintenance assessment fees pay for the ongoing upkeep of the district you live in. They have nothing to do with the bonds and the infrastructure. Thanks for liking, thanks for subscribing. So let me know in the comments below what kind of content you want to see and hear about in the Villages. That is kind of interesting. They have one side of the roundabout shut down, and you've got people going in and out of the roundabout on the same side. That seems like that might be dangerous to do. But they have cones over there. They have security guards over there. Thanks for liking, thanks for subscribing. I do appreciate it. What other videos have I done this week? And we'll talk about one last video. Why is the Villages selling amenity assets? We talked about the amenity assets. What is to blame for the sinkholes in the Villages? Well, we talked a little bit about the sinkholes. Most of them occur around stormwater pipes and retention ponds. And it's due to the galvanized and steel pipes that they use in the retention ponds. They deteriorate over time. A lot of times they're deteriorating because of the chemicals and the fertilizers that are being utilized. And in that video, we talked about the Marion County, which is the county north of the Villages. They will not use steel pipes because of the low life expectancy on steel pipes and stormwater management systems. So Marion County will not allow or not utilize steel pipes. I believe they will use plastic or ceramic or stone or cement or something. Anything other than steel. Steel tends to last only 20 or 25 years. And that's what the Villages is seeing too. A lot of those sinkholes are being caused around retention ponds due to the collapsing and deterioration of the steel pipes. And those steel pipes in the north are 25 or 30 years old. We had one recently deteriorate at Seabreeze Rec Center. That's about 20 years old. And that is what the article and what Marion County officials are saying is that you can expect about 20 or 25 years life expectancy out of those steel pipes. Even though the manufacturer of the pipes say they're 50-year pipes, you're only going to get 25 years out of them. And then by then, it's up to the community development district to repair those pipes, and that's part of what your maintenance assessment fees will pay for. They will pay for the sinkholes and pipe repairs. That's not part of the bond issuance. So that was the nature of what is causing the sinkholes in the Villages. It's primarily due to pipes deteriorating, and who knows what happens with those pipes, where they bought those pipes. Who knows if they're high-grade pipes. I don't know if those stormwater pipes come in different grades, but who knows what the Villages purchased and implemented 20 or 30 years ago. Thanks for liking, thanks for subscribing. We are quickly approaching the 1 hour time limit. That is the YouTube recommended amount of time to do a live stream. Anybody on the live stream, feel free to submit a question, a comment, or a concern. I will wait around for a little while. Here is another videoer. Wonder if that's a YouTuber, what this guy is. That is some heavy duty equipment that he has right there. That is some professional level grade equipment. Thanks for liking, thanks for subscribing. He's videoing the water feature here in Cebu, Philippines. He's using his phone to do it too. Meanwhile, we have traffic going southbound on a one-way street. That is due by design. I wonder if they're going to have another parade here. They've been having parades all week. Today is the final day of Señor Santo Niño Festival here in the Philippines, honoring a statue of the baby Jesus that was gifted to the Philippines by Ferdinand Magellan, who tried to actually take over the Philippines in the year 1521. And he was fought off and defeated by Lapu-Lapu, a local Filipino, That's an interesting story. Ferdinand Magellan gives the Philippines a gift and turns around and tries to invade the Philippines, and then he loses. There you have it, friends. That's my live stream for today. I do appreciate it. Please feel free to forward my videos to your friends and enemies. Also, like and subscribe. Have a good day. Have a great week. Stay safe. See you all soon.